Video game remasters have a rather questionable reputation among the gamers, and the game we're gonna review today isn't an exception. Some people just enjoy playing this game in a much better quality comparing to the original release, and the other half blames developers in overpricing the game and just being lazy. This game is Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, which released last year, and it serves a role of a remaster to 2013's Nintendo 3DS title Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, the sequel to the original Luigi's Mansion game on the Gamecube. Some fans blamed this game for its mission-based gameplay, some fans didn't like its more unoriginal types of ghosts compared to unique ones from the original game, and some fans didn't enjoy its visual and audio aspects. But overall, the game still managed to get positive reviews. With all that being said, you may have gotten a little confused if this game is even worth your time and money. But today I'm going to prove to you that it undoubtedly is a solid sequel to the legendary Gamecube title. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is an interesting game with a quirky story, funny ghost interactions, and amazing gameplay with many puzzles. And there's no doubt this remaster looks much better than its 3DS counterpart. Now when we got introduced with today's topic, I think it's about the right time to proceed to our review, starting with the game's story. The game starts with a quick shot at the Dark Moon over the Evershade Valley. Then we get to see our dog Gadd doing his research in his lab at the Gloomy Manor. There's a couple of greenies who actively helping him. Yeah, you heard it right. These ghosts are in fact dog's buddies, who are being friendly and helpful, but sadly not for long. Cause few seconds after, we observe how King Boo approaches the Dark Moon and strikes it with a lighting from his crown. As expected, the Dark Moon doesn't stand a chance and splits into pieces which then fall down in different directions around the Evershade Valley. At this same moment, all friendly ghosts suddenly become hostile and start to make a mess inside Gadd's laboratory. Then we see our boy Luigi chilling at his house, sleeping on his sofa. Unfortunately for Luigi, his nap gets interrupted by the dog connected to the Luigi's TV. Without listening to Luigi's own opinion, Alvin teleports us to his bunker, using his fancy pixelator. But I gotta add that Luigi is not the only one who gets mistreated by the professor. For example, he completely forgets about his employee Toads, who gets stuck in the pictures. If I was on Toad's place, I would definitely make a 1-hour video explaining why you shouldn't work for Dr. Gadd. But let's forget about Gadd's arrogance for now. He's still happy to see Luigi and says he missed him a lot. Even more, he wants Luigi to stop being overshadowed by his older brother. Doc explains that this celestial body called Dark Moon was the thing which would pacify ghosts, and with the shattered moon, all the ghosts in the area turned hostile. Of course, there's no better candidate for a ghost catcher than our boy Luigi, who once again clearly doesn't want to do this job. Gadd shows us a piece of the Dark Moon which he found and clears it from King Boo's power with his fancy record player looking invention. After the cleanup, we see how the fog around the Gloomy Manor immediately vanishes, which means we are now able to travel to our first destination. But there's one more thing left. Before getting pixelated, the dog gives Luigi a custom DS, which stands for Dual Scream. Using this little device, Doctor will call us giving advices or just bothering us on our adventure. Now as Luigi is finally ready for the first mission, we get pixelated to the Gloomy Manor. Our main goal throughout the game is to find every fallen Dark Moon piece to restore the peace in the Evershade Valley. Unlike in the first title, which had only one mansion, this game has not one, not two, but 5 different locations we'll visit. And those are not only familiar to us haunted mansions, but also an abandoned factory, mine and more. Though as a tradition, we'll still call them mansions. Now as the main plot is cleared, let's start off our journey through this full of ghosts locations.
Come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth. I'm feeling a little magical.
First location we visit is called Gloomy Manor. The name talks by itself. It is an old mansion that was abandoned a long time ago, presumably in the first half of the 20th century. There are some memorable rooms in here, such as a garage with an elegant purple antique car, the foyer, Gadd's laboratory, library and a cellar. I especially like some ghost interactions we get to see in this place. It was hilarious to see Luigi interrupting Greeny's shower time at the bathroom, or how Hyder painted a picture of his friend who's been posing for him. Looking through the mudroom's window, we can get a first glance at one of the most adorable characters in the whole game, Polterpup, a funny little doggo who surely will bring some trouble on our journey. Not intentionally, of course, only because he's looking for someone to play with. All these little events we observe truly make the game feel more alive. It seems like every ghost has its own character and living their regular ghostly life. On the first mission in the Gloomy Manor, we get our trustworthy Poltergust 5000, the vacuum that sucks up all the ghosts we catch, and it's not even its only function. It also helps to blow air on ceiling fans to activate some mechanisms and suck in dust piles, money, and hearts which are hard to reach. It's also able to shoot objects we picked up. All these functions make Poltergust 5000 our crucial friend on this ghostly journey. I almost forgot, but Poltergust also got a built-in strobe bulb flashlight, which we use to stun enemies and to activate some of the Gadd's special door locks. What a wonderful invention it surely is, and it still hasn't gotten its full potential. We should yet go through some troubles to build our ultimate vacuum cleaner. Sometime after we get the Poltergust, bulky ghosts aka slammers steal gears from the access mechanism which we need to retrieve. Then we have quite a fight with these brainy poltergeists at the library, but in the end our hero Luigi defeats them all. Interesting facts time. Did you know that Luigi can remove a tablecloth not spilling the food on the floor? Surely he can. Shame on you if you doubted him. Let's get back to the Gloomy Manor, where things get much more messy even than it had previously been. There, our old enemy's boss start to release spirit balls, specimens that cause objects to disappear. Basically, from now on, some objects like armor sets, pictures, and even doors will turn invisible. I must assure you that it's not as bad as it sounds, and you shouldn't panic. Gadd got us covered even with this one, cause a while ago he created an attachment to the Poltergust called Dark Light Device. After retrieving it from the lab, all we have to do is to shine the device's light around the rooms, finding the missing objects. Though there's a catch. After finding the object, we have to suck up all the annoying spiritual balls, and only then the object will truly return to its initial physical form. With this device, we are also able to make some money from coin pictures and rescue some hard workers. I absolutely adored the sticky situation mission, where we had to clean up the whole place from many webs using fire. And here comes our first boss battle, where we confront the giant spider. It's not just a regular giant spider, if we can call it so, it's a spider possessed by the Grouchy Possessor. This type of ghost will become familiar to us in the near future. We scare the spider using fire, therefore getting ghost out of its body. Only then we are able to catch the ghost and retrieve one of the precious Dark Moon pieces as a reward. After this big victory, we clean the piece up, which causes the fog to clear farther, unlocking a new location on our way. Our second stop is Haunted Towers, where the next moon piece is located. These towers were built around a huge tree with a sky bridge which serves as a connection between them. Previous owners of this place were fond of exotic plants, so this place is full of various vegetation. The location is huge and includes courtyard, conservatory, crow's nest, hollow tree, and many more different places to visit. In this level, Poltergust shooting feature really comes in handy. There's special type of plants which grow a spiky ball on top of themselves, which we can grab and shoot at hostile plants, which then digest it and explode. We can also shoot at plant targets, which give us some precious coins. There's also unique to this location plants, which grow on walls with pink bloom in the center. Picking it up and then blowing air inside of it makes it a big balloon that can lift us up. That helps to reach many unreachable before places. We can pick up buckets, pour water into them, and water plants, which is unexpectedly really fun to do. At Haunted Towers, we fix the water supply that helps us to raise the bridge at the entrance of the hollow tree. Everything seems too smooth, right? But guess what? Ghosts mess everything up again by stealing Pinwheel's veins. When we repair the pinwheel, we can finally enter the hollow tree, where we find out that we don't have the special key which will allow us to proceed to the top of the tree. The key is located in one of the coolest, in my opinion, places in the game, the old graveyard. Walking through this spooky place, we enter a crypt where we face Boo, catch him and rescue the red toad locked inside the picture. On our way out, we face ghosts of three sisters who smartly dodge our attacks with their mirrors. To be honest, I really hated this boss battle on my first playthrough, but I'll give these three ladies a credit for their creativity. It's cool how you can pick up a toad and then throw him somewhere else. This ability will help us out in some sections of the game. I truly enjoyed rescuing all the toads, but I gotta admit that every time ghosts would appear on the screen, toads were getting a little bit annoying with their screams, but still, it was cool being in their company. Getting back to Haunted Towers. If you're afraid of dolls, you'd better run from this doll at the Rumpus room, who always stares at ya. Though if you can beat your fear, you'll get a nice reward by spinning around it until its head comes off. Talking about funny ghost interactions, here in the west bedroom, hiders decided to have a sleepover. Just look how ghosts are trolling each other. But again, the luck isn't on our side, and Polterpup steals our special key. We pursued this naughty but nevertheless cutie doggo throughout the whole place and retrieve our key. Searching for Polterpup, we face a new ghost type called Gobber, who's one of my least favorite ghosts in the game. Gobber is chunky, and on top of this, he spits slime puddles on the ground which damage the player. We can only get to the level's boss by scaling this, at first glance, endless stairway. After an infinity of tries to reach the top, we face the harsh possessor who decided to become a monster stairway with huge teeth. After dodging all his fireball attacks and pulling him by his tail, we are able to catch this bad fella and get our Dark Moon piece back. Then we come back to the bunker, clean the piece up and locate our next destination. The next place we visit is called Old Clockworks, a neglected factory that once produced famous high-quality clocks. At our first visit of this place, we can look through a telescope located at the factory's entrance. Looking through it, we get to see the next possessor who's already planning something devious at the clock tower. There are some troublesome bugs at the front yard. You can get rid of them by flashing them with your strobe bulb flashlight or sucking them up with the vacuum. Such enemies exist in other locations too. For example, the Gloomy Manor is infested with a whole lot of mouses and spiders, who wander around the place like its true owners. There are also rare gold versions of these infestators. Defeating them, you'll get rewarded with a whole lot of cash, so keep your eye out for them if you want to become rich. Here, at the old Clockworks, we also discover these metal balls laying around the whole place. After flashing them, they immediately transform into mini robo-bombs, which start to run after you. You better watch out for these guys because they don't like to be disturbed, though they are still useful in a handful of puzzles, so they're not totally useless after all. We meet some of the most cunning ghosts in this factory, who are called sneakers. These cheaters allow to sneak behind you, then appear and scare our innocent boy Luigi. Old Clockworks, just like every level in the game, got some scary spooky places to visit, such as Clock Tower, Workshop, and even Underground, where we face actual mummies, which turn out to be no one other than disguised greenies. Clockmaker's chambers got to be my favorite room of the whole building. This room may seem not special at all, though when we enter this room, for the first time we notice a greenie calmly sleeping on the bed. We can spin a mechanism on the floor to change the time on the clock, therefore activating the alarm clock. When the alarm starts ringing, we wake the greenie up. You definitely laugh out loud watching him jumping out of the bed blinded by a bucket on his head. I surely wouldn't want to be on this poor ghost's place. We meet our old bad Polterpup here too. And guess what? We need to chase him down once again. This time he stole an hour hand from greenies who were playing with it, tossing it to each other. So they got what they deserved by not calling our boy to play together. The clock hand we need to get is a crucial part to open the entrance of the clock tower. After catching the doggo, the last thing we need to enter the clock tower is the rotor. And I almost forgot there's a minute hand too, which we get after defeating the ancient poltergeist in the roundhouse battle mission. So after retrieving the hour hand, we find out about another poor toad who was completely forgotten by the professor, though at least Gadd himself admits that work for him must be terrible. After rescuing the yellow toad and retrieving the last clock tower gates part, we can finally reach the top of the building. But there's something interesting we find out before we can move out. Looking at a three-dimensional picture brought by the toad, we can see boots who are dragging seemingly important for them picture. It's almost completely covered in a piece of cloth, but when we take a closer look, we can spot an upper part of the picture that sticks out. Looking at it, we can catch with our eyes a hat with a letter M on it. As you may have already guessed, in Luigi's Mansion 2, just like in the first game, our brother Mario gets captured by the ghosts. When we come back to the old Clockworks, we fix the clock tower's gate and set the right time on the clock. When the entrance opened, we are now able to get up on an elevator and reach the belfry clock. The boss battle starts with the overset possessor spinning the clock on the top of the building. With each spin of the clock, we get a new wave of different enemies thrown on us. I found it very challenging to beat this boss battle when I played it for the first time. But eventually, after all hordes of different types of ghosts, bugs and exploding balls, the overset possessor comes out of the cuckoo clock and our true hero Luigi ends up defeating him. Then we claim another Dark Moon piece as a proper reward for our efforts. As a good tradition, we come back with the retrieved piece to Gadd's bunker. Here we give it a proper cleaning, vanish the fog farther ahead, and find our next stop.
Me bomba!
Here comes one of the coziest levels in the game. I mean, I really miss the snowy days, but at least I can play this level that is full of snow. This place features a chalet, fishing hut and mine. Once, this location was a center of a big mining operation, but the owners moved out as fast as the ghosts started to move in. When we visit the secret mine for the first time, we need to go through the trail between the snowy slopes to the cabin. There are even two snowmen in the front yard that gently meet us. The place looks friendly until we look in the building's window. Looking through it, we see a hider swinging on a rocking chair who eagerly waits for us to enter the house. There's a beautiful fireplace inside the cabin and a bear carpet. If we decide to pull this bear's tail, he immediately roars, revealing that it's not just a decoration, but a real living bear laying on the floor. On our first mission at the secret mine, we go through the ice lake to the fishing hut, where we rescue Blue Toad. After accomplishing our rescue mission, our fellow gets really happy to see Luigi and wants to hug him. At this very moment, the ice below us cracks and we fall into an old mine. After some time walking through the mine, we manage to fix the bridge to the elevator and come back to the chalet. I must mention that besides the toad and the sleeping bear, we got these fluffy guys who live in the house. They're very funny and friendly. When you toss them with your vacuum, they become even fluffier. On our next mission we need to come back to the mine, going even farther to see what are the ghosts up to, cause sometime before we've noticed them dragging all the mine's precious shiny crystals away. We then slide down a slope, which reminded me of good times racing the penguin in Super Mario 64. After that we go down on a shaft, looking at ghosts continually carrying the crystals. You got to be stealthy riding the shaft to not grab any unwanted attention. Though if the ghost spotted you, catch him before he slips out. We walk down to the crystal quarry, where we find out that even in this case, boos are the ones behind this mess. They managed to use the crystals to make stronger versions of all types of ghosts. I didn't tell you about this before, but at some point in the game, ghosts get their own strong versions. These newer ghosts look almost the same, having new cracking patterns on their body instead of their basic smooth colors. What separates them from the normal versions are their shields. They can only be caught if the vacuum bar by sucking up a ghost has reached the same color as their shield. In short, it takes much more time to suck up these strong ghosts than their regular versions. Their appearance certainly shows the importance of upgrading your Poltergust 5000 in time. Riding the gondola and risking our life while going on these wood bars, we reach the workshop. Here we can spot the next possessor who makes fun of one of our fluffy bodies. How dare he to offend our body? But don't be afraid, cause we're gonna deal with him soon enough. Entering the workshop, we face the shrewd possessor who transforms into a nice monster and starts digging up a hole in the floor. The unknown invention which happened to be in the workshop knocks Luigi off his feet. All this chaos makes us fall in the possessor's hole. As an experienced professional, our boy Luigi gets this situation under his control. We jump on this fancy looking sled and start shooting bombs at the possessor's monster. If you are good at shooting, this boss battle won't be a trouble for ya. But it didn't work out well for me, cause as expected it was kinda tough, especially when I'd get anxious close to the end and kept losing. After blowing up the monster, we catch the possessor and guess what? We retrieve another beautiful moon piece and come back to the bunker, clean it up and clear the mysterious fog. Treacherous Mansion is the last place we visit in the Evershade Valley. This location includes many rooms with various history exhibitions. I'd say that they look much more believable than any exhibition in a real museum. For example, at the Ice Age exhibit we got an actual living mammoth. There's also a jungle exhibit with not the friendliest flowers and the Dark Age exhibit which features knight armor sets, weapons and Iron Maiden. There's an interesting detail about the Treacherous Mansion. When we press any C-pad button on this part of the game, instead of his standard phrases, Luigi starts calling Mario, just like in the original game.
Mario? 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 Mario!
Getting pixelated to the Treacherous Mansion, we should go through this extremely fragile bridge towards the mansion's entrance. Looking through the window, we see how the purple toad gets captured by King Boo and gets trapped in the picture. After seeing this, Luigi tries to open the mansion's doors, but here comes our good old troublemaker Polterpup, who traditionally steals the key. We fall in a well and follow the doggo through the tunnel. Here in the underground we have to fight against the medieval knights who turn out to be disguised greenies. I really love the way we defeat them, cause it's so basic yet genius. Basically, when they don't suspend the danger and step on a carpet, we need to quickly pull it back. Doing so, they lose their grip and collapse on the floor. Visiting the underground lab, we become a witness of the ghosts who try to create their own Frankenstein monster out of the old armor set. They failed, but let's appreciate their efforts. I didn't mention this before, but every level in Luigi's Mansion 2 has hidden crystals scattered around. You can challenge yourself to find them all, but be aware that some of them are surprisingly very well hidden. So after our underground adventure, we eventually catch Polterpup and recover the front door key. Soon after, we get to rescue the yellow toad at the jungle exhibition. This toad tells us about another hard worker who got trapped at the Ice Age exhibit. We get there and rescue that purple toad too. Right after that, we need to enter the inner courtyard. Here our fellow toads help us to activate the statue's mechanism, which lifts up the big and elegant staircase to the second floor. When we return to the bunker, we get a chance to look at the recent security image brought by Toads. At that picture we can clearly see our trapped brother Mario and King Boo, who looks at the camera laughing at us. Now all we need to do is to go to the train exhibition. Not so fast though, cause the poltergeist steps on our way and steals a book which activates the passage to the room. We find the ghost by looking through the telescope at Space Exhibit. When we get our eyes off the telescope, we instantly get teleported on a little planet where the poltergeist starts to spin us around and tossing bombs at Luigi. When we finally catch him, we can now get our hands on the book. Sometime after, we teleport from the bunker to the train exhibition, where King Boo and Mario were supposed to be. There, instead of us making an ambush on our biggest enemy, we get surprised by a bunch of Boos who then merge into a one big Boo, while King Boo is nowhere to be found. To fight these Boos, we need to throw the big Boo in front of a spiky train drill, and then when they fall apart, we can catch all the Boos one by one and send them inside the train cars. Our last mission in this mansion is to catch all the powerful ghosts who came out of the King Boo's newly created portal on the terrace. We need to be fast and clean the place in no time to prevent our dimension from collapsing. I'll admit that I didn't complete this mission from the first try, because you got to be really fast-paced heading from one room to another. This mission serves as a good preparation for the upcoming battle with our greatest enemy who awaits us inside the portal. Entering the paranormal portal, we instantly get teleported to a huge mansion hall, located somewhere in the King Boo's illusion. We take a look around and see that the moonpiece awaits us on the knight armor's hands. We take a few steps towards the armor, lean to grab the piece, and this is when the tough possessor shows up, cause of course the moonpiece wouldn't just stay by itself and wait for us to grab it. The ghost, preparing for a fight, divides himself in multiple clones, who then possess armor sets and ready to attack Luigi. We easily dodge his attacks by slipping all the knights off the carpet. His final transformation got to be one of the most epic moments in the game. Cause being already desperate, he turns in an enormous knight and tries to step on us or smash us with his sword. But our trustworthy carpet trick works out again, and when he steps on two carpets at the same time with his giant armor shoes, we pull back the carpet and he collapses while trying to fight, therefore leaving the dark moonpiece on the floor. We get our precious moonpiece back. Happy Elvin waits for Luigi to be pixelated to the bunker, though the moonpiece turns out to be the only thing that successfully gets pixelated. Our hero Luigi finds himself to be pixelated into King Boo's trap. Here, King Boo reminds Luigi about enclosing him inside the painting and threatens to become a ruler of the whole world. Now we have to beat two types of challenges prepared by the King Boo to finally defeat him. First one is the platform with falling spiky rocks. Here, our main goal is to lure King Boo in the place where a rock is supposed to fall. This way, he gets his head smashed by a rock, and after that, the challenge changes to another. In the second challenge, we need to run from the King Boo through the tight corridor full of furniture and try not to get stuck on our way. After completing these challenges, with all the complications brought by our enemy, we are finally able to vacuum King Boo. We retrieve the last dark moon piece which was placed on the King Boo's crown. After that we get teleported to the terrace where we free our brother Mario from the painting. With help of the professor and Toads we connect all the dark moon pieces together. As the dark moon sets back in the sky, all the ghosts get back to their normal friendly selves, and then we start to celebrate our big victory. Even Polterpup attends our party. We make a group photo with Mario, Gadd and ghosts, then we see Luigi putting the picture on the wall and resting on his sofa with his friend Polterpup sometime after our journey. What a wonderful and peaceful ending to a such great and long adventure. Here come the credits, where we can see many funny pictures of the main characters casually messing around after the victory. I don't know about you, but I really love when developers add such small details. That alone made me watch the credits all the way until the end.
You ever wonder what happens when you mix hot lava and chicken? I did, and you're about to find out.
Nom, 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 nom.
Now when we got the game's plot out of the way, we can finally discuss other things about the game. First thing I want to discuss is ghosts and their types. As I said before, the game doesn't have completely unique ghosts with their own backstories as in Luigi's Mansion 1, but I would strongly disagree if someone said that they are boring and not recognizable. Ghosts in Luigi's Mansion 2 always act funny, they interact with each other and do perfect job bothering us on our journey. There are enough ghost types with their unique abilities too. After capturing new ghosts, they appear in Gadd's vault, visiting which we can read some of the professor's research notes. So let's go through all of the ghost types presented in the game. The most common enemies are greenies. These fellas won't leave you bored by bringing a whole lot of trouble on your head. They love to dress up, wearing various objects on their heads such as buckets and glasses, which help them to get protected from the flashlight. And they also use various usual life tools as weapons. They even love to cosplay mummies and knights time to time. There's no doubt they are my favorite ghost type in the whole game. Here comes another ghost type called slammers, who are typical bulky gym bros. I recommend you to stay careful with these protein enjoyers. Third ghost type is called hiders. Based on their name, you can already tell they enjoy to hide in furniture and throw different objects at Luigi when he is not looking in their sight. Next ghost type is sneakers, who love to sneak up and spook Luigi from behind. I am not really fond of these cunning guys, though again, they're not guilty for being bad, so try to forgive them for their bad behavior. Creepers are ghosts who most of the time enjoy to stay in their goo form on the mansion's floors. If you step in the goo, it's gonna be quite challenging to break free from their tight hugs. Now we're gonna talk about very unstandard for the game ghosts. Sisters Lucinda, Belinda and Herlinda aren't your normal ghost types. They're unique to that one memorable boss battle at the old graveyard. From the Gadd studies we learn about sisters' quirky relationships towards each other. Next ghost type is gobbers, who are the other type of ghosts I don't necessarily like. These ghosts are big, they have a lot of HP, and on top of that they spit their very own goo, which deals a fair amount of damage. Poltergeists are big brainy ghosts who love to toss things at ya using their telekinetic powers. As much as they are annoying, I truly adore their funny voices. There are several possessors in the game, though they all have the same purpose. As expected, their main purpose is possessing things or other creatures and prevent us from getting Dark Moon pieces which they keep. There are also strong versions to already known to us ghost types, with the only big difference of having power shields. These shields make them much more powerful and hard to defeat. And of course, we couldn't forget about our boy Polterpup, who is definitely the cutest and smartest ghost doggo in the world. I am not sure how many ghost puppies are out there, but he is undoubtedly the best. We can also find other ghost types in the game's Scarescraper multiplayer mode. You can extend your playtime by trying to catch all of them. As it for now, I don't have many of them, but I'll try to fix it in the future. Here in the bunker we can also view all the boos we've caught throughout our ghostly journey. They all are held in the boo canister. Yep, I didn't mention it, but there are boos on each level which we can catch. By catching all of them on each level we can unlock bonus levels, which makes 100% completion of the game much more engaging. I remember how the first fight with a boo was quite challenging and unexpected for me, though after a few battles you get used to it and catch these pesky fellas in no time. We can also check all the gems we've found on each level. You can find amethysts at the Gloomy Manor, emeralds at the Haunted Towers, rubies at the old Clockworks, sapphires at the Secret Mine, and diamonds at the Treacherous Mansion. Some of them are very well hidden, which makes finding all of them its own adventure. I also need to mention that we can upgrade our devoted Poltergust 5000 by gathering coins and bills in the level. Upgrading the Poltergust to its super level allows us to fill the power gauge in no time and use the Dark Light device for much longer. With that said, I'd strongly recommend you to spend some time searching for money and get these power-ups as quickly as you can. You won't regret it, cause it's gonna help you a big time. We've already covered many aspects of this game, and you may have already thought to yourself that it's probably enough, though I must assure you there's still one big feature we yet gonna talk about. And this is nothing else than Luigi's Mansion 2 multiplayer mode called Scarescraper, which you can play whether online or via local multiplayer. There are 3 game modes available in total. In the Hunter mode, our goal is to clear levels from all the ghosts as fast as possible. In the Rush mode, we need to find the exit from the level before time runs out. And in the Polterpup mode, we have to find all the Polterpups using our magical dark light device. The host of the server can also choose the amount of the Scarescraper floors, which equals to the amount of levels we'll have to clear. There's also a selection of 3 difficulty modes we can choose. Scarescraper is extremely fun to play with your friends, or if you're just like me and have no friends to play with, it's still entertaining to team up with random players from around the world. It all makes up for a great time catching ghosts, fighting bosses and helping each other out. I especially love when the Wool server starts yelling various Luigi's phrases. When it happens, it gets super chaotic yet amusing.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good job. Good job.
For the conclusion, I'm gonna say that Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is fairly a great game which gave me fun memories of playing it. It's got a light-hearted, not too deep story which is fair for such a quirky game. It's not scary, which separates it from other games featuring ghosts, and it's definitely a big plus for an easy to scare person like me, who still wants to play somewhat spooky themed game without spending a fortune on diapers. Some people didn't like this game's shift to lighter and not scary style, especially compared to the original game, but I think it wasn't supposed to be scary from the very start of the series. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD provides a lot of funny moments, such as hilarious ghost interactions. I might repeat it 100 times, but I just adore them, so please don't judge me. Not to forget about the one and only cutie Polterpup, who's got to be one of my favorite video game characters. The fact that this entry is mission-based makes it really convenient to play in a handheld mode and jump in and out whenever you want, though I prefer to play through the most of the story on a big screen. The game's music, as expected, is impeccable. It's got that original Luigi's Mansion vibe, with Luigi singing along the tunes. The game got a nice bunch of things to do besides the main story, which fairly extends our playthrough even more. Not to mention that the game by itself isn't the shortest even by today's standards. Lastly, I must say that Nintendo did a great job remastering it for the Switch. Changes may not seem obvious, but when we compare it to its 3DS counterpart, it's got much more details. Even looking at Luigi's suit, which got nice textured jeans, sweater and hat. So with all that being said, I strongly recommend you to pick this game up and give it a try. It's not as graphically advanced as Luigi's Mansion 3, but it definitely got its own charm and highlights. Write down in the comments if you're gonna pick this game up. If you've already played this game, write down your thoughts and we may discuss them. If you want to play this game online and search for someone to play with, I will gladly play it with you. Now, I'm not gonna take any more of your time. As always, it was Melissa Persona. See you in the next video.